Okay, so I have opened Big Ben's Alma because the sandboxes for Alma do not include discovery, so there is no sandbox. However, it is possible to create test views, and so I just want to start, and we can go in and I'll show you how to do that. So under discovery, you go to configure views, and you can see that they actually have a testing view already. But what you can do in your own is, so like whichever your default view is, you can duplicate, and then you give it a new code, which will be what shows up after the colon of your institution code. So I'm going to call this one Carly, if I can spell my name, testing, so Amanda knows that it's me messing around with stuff. And then you just click duplicate, and now we have Carly testing down here. Right now it's an exact copy of their main view, and you can go to that view to preview any changes, or we could edit. So here I can edit, and so like if I wanted to go into the customization package, go to Primo Studio, change something, and then see what it looks like. I can, I'll change the order of, okay, so in the brief results, I have changed the drop-down order of secondary sort methods. And I can also change the orders of the resource filters type. We go to brief record display. And I'm going to add, create a permalink. I'm going to, instead of citation, going to get rid of endnote. Going to get rid of RIS. Gonna add share. All right, and in my search profile slots, I only want course reserves. All right. Okay, great. Now I save. Now, yes, I saved. Thank you. If I say go to view, this will only be course reserves, or it should be. So if I hit English, yep, ta-da, it is only the course reserves. And if I click on something, okay, thanks. We changed, so I've got share, ref works right up front because I added share and I got rid of all that other stuff. So you can see, and this is not, this is a quote unquote live view, in that if you put this link somewhere, somebody could see it, but no one can like accidentally get to it. And oh, sorry, Linda. Oh, and here's Victoria. Should put the participants list on the screen that I'm looking at. Okay. Yeah. So that is kind of a very quick how to create a different discovery view. But now what we can do with this one is we can essentially make any of the kinds of changes that we want to test. We can, you know, totally make it look different so that we know it's our test one. But I just figured if we have one central testing one at one institution for this group, then if we want to share out code from that, we can. But easier than like individually tackling everybody's at the same time. So that is how to create a test view. So creating search profiles and discovery views. So essentially, you can create a discovery view and limit that one search profile to one code. If we add a slot here, it will show us the available blended search profiles. To create additional search profiles, because these come from Alma, we are actually not going to work in Primo. We're going to work in Alma. So cancel that. But if we go to, what is it? Where is it? Is it, it might be configuration, hold on. There we go. Okay, so we go to configuration, discovery, and now we can do search profiles, and we can add a search profile. And we can add scopes, or we can, where is the other one? Let's see if maybe I'm just not, we're going to do, wow. Okay, now within this, I want a central index. Don't want it filtered by availability. I do want to exclude ebooks. All right, so now once we have this one, we can edit various elements of this search scope. So resource type, all or selected. If we do selected, we can then choose. I only want, oh heck, maps. Okay. And say discipline. What do we think? Astronomy. Let's see if we can find some astronomy maps. I doubt it. This is going to be like, you have nothing. And then the full text. Now these 4 options are the always limits, whereas the per end user selection does give end users the option. So I'm going to say yes. So yes is the default, but an end user could change that. All right. Now we're going to save this and go back to our configure views, early testing, edit, search profile slots, add a slot. And now we have this one. So we can say, we're going to say strong maps from okay. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to turn off course reserves. I'm going to go save. Now if we go to view, well, yeah, because I was searching a ridiculously small, weird thing. So maybe not the best example. However, let's instead do one that is instead, yeah, we're going to do my libraries. And we're just going to do the main one. And we're going to remove that one. Wait, do want to add. Okay, and then we're going to edit the resource type on this to book. And let's say biology. All right. Now, we didn't change the code on that at all. So the changes that I just made in the scope should go into the one that I created. So now we're going to go to view. And we should get back. Yeah. So we have books And this one is technically conference proceeding, but it is actual bound. Okay, why did we, because it's so anybody have any idea of how to limit the resource type if we do the library? Because I think this is so okay. Maybe we can add in. Hold on. I want to go and look at the one that said, okay, local data. So how does this? Yeah, so it's
Carly, I feel like it might have something to do with the scope. Maybe I'm looking at my eLuna notes because I remember there's like 3 tiers: the search profile, the scope, and something else. I can't remember.
yeah. Okay, so we have, if we take out central index and we've just got the library one, it doesn't let us specify resource type on this. So how do we make it only books? Hmm.
I have a note here to create a custom local data search scope. For example, books only, electronic
Yeah.
resources only. Maybe.
Yeah, what does, like, did we do that in eLuna?
Yeah, day 1.
I wasn't there day 1.
That's right. All right. I'm talking about a day you weren't there. Yeah, the entire like first 3 hours of day 1. First thing Monday morning, search profiles.
So we've got the profile and we've got the scope. I'm going to save this. I think you're right about the multiple levels.
Ooh, that second tab. That's what my note says.
Okay, so
Believe.
add. Okay, and then we add a condition.
Maybe like material type.
Available
Physical
availability. Oh, what if we did, wait. So we could do location, and then you could only search like children's literature, or we could do the metadata and we could do resource type. Okay. So we save this. And now do we go here?
Believe so, and then you add the scope there.
Boom! Oh,
Bam!
Linda,
I learned a thing.
brilliant. Okay.
I learned to share the knowledge. Okay.
Okay, so then we remove this one. Okay, now we're gonna save. And let's see what happens when we go to our test one.
Disclaimer, I don't mean to break the system if it does.
I can just delete it.
Just delete the whole system. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's try. This is my like go-to for some reason. I don't know. Okay. Available online, held by library. Doesn't matter. These are books.
Ooh.
Available online. Okay. So how would we we would need to add another condition in there. Yeah.
Are you just wanting physical books? Is that what it is?
Yes. Specifically, Amy, I think, was asking for, or was it Lindsay?
It was probably Lindsay and Linda,
Yeah.
that being me.
Yes.
Just ebooks, the Linda Lindsay combo. Yeah, because a lot of our students are like, I just want a physical book. That was us. Yay.
Yes. I feel like Amy was also kind of talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So if they just want a physical book, let's. Oh, wait, no, we need this one. This one. So we want resource types equals books, and we want to add a condition of
location.
Inventory physical availability library.
Yeah.
We're going to say yes. And we don't want it or, we want books and. Okay. I won't use dental hygiene because there was only the one, but maybe that is a good example because we know there's only the one. Okay, so we should just. Yes. Switch.
That
Well,
right
that's an
there was worth
interesting
the
title to come back
registration.
as dental hygiene, but whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, but now we have this code here, which can be used to create, like you can put it into a LibGuide with, so that people are just searching books when they go to that LibGuide, and they don't have to do any other drop down, and they're not having to limit or anything else. So let's go through in order what we figured out so that later someone can watch the recording and not be confused. So in our configuration, discovery, search profiles, we didn't have to create the profile first. We did need to create the scopes. We added a custom scope and gave it a code. And this time, let's say we want, what do we want? Children's lit. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, should probably get a condition. Okay. We want under inventory a location of children's literature, but we know there's also that children's literature reference. So this time, if we do location, children's literature reference, we want the logic to be or, because we want both. All right. So we have this custom local scope. Under our search profiles, we're going to keep using the blended test. But if you created a new search profile, you would then go to edit, and instead of books only, we can remove this. And then when we go to add scope, if we choose custom local data, we see our test books only, but we also have test children's lit. We save. Now, because we've loaded this blended test into our test configure view, okay. Interesting. Okay, let's try something a little broader. There we go. So, held by library. It does include one audio item, but they have a lot of warriors. So now someone could search just what is in the children's literature collection. Now, if we wanted to, because we, have already created this custom search scope, we know that the availability is going to always be held by library and library, but maybe we want to highlight different filtering tools. So then we would go into the Primo view and we can edit that. And so that would be in the something. Nope, that's not it. Nope, not. Yes, okay, so under brief results, we can edit the facet. So we know we don't need journal title. Well, we don't know that. We don't need library because we know where it is. We don't need availability. And let's say we want language at the top. Can I put it at the top? No. Slowly click through putting language at the top. Where'd it go? There it is. Now, we noticed that course name, course instructor, course code, course department, none of those came up because none of the titles in Children's Lit had course reserves on them. Guess I could have taken that out earlier. And there were no journals. So now our facets are going to be limited to this. We could also change the sort ability. I must say I am not a dedupe Ferber like expert, so I literally have no idea what that means. And since we're looking at books only, I'm not sure it matters for this one. And ooh, let's just see what a filters bar is, because I've never looked one. Okay, filters bar not supported when basic search pre-filter. Oh, okay, fine. Another time. Okay, but we've significantly limited the facets. Got the title, creator, publisher. If you wanted to edit how display fields show up. So say you don't want the full title, you only want the vernacular title. Say you don't want the contributor, but in addition to the creator, we want the edition. Actually, let's say we don't want contributor here, but we want title and edition. So we add a field. Okay, and then we don't want publisher. Let's say we want the creation date and the format. But I want the format first. Let's see what this looks like. Now we could add even more in this fourth field. So now we'll go to discovery, configure views, go to view, search dogs. Okay, so now we have interesting. So they don't have vernacular titles. So there's nothing showing up. So it's popping the, oh, this one is popping the edition because we put that with title. So let's fix that. What was that, brief record display? All right. Aha! All dogs have ADHD. What? So now we have like the size of it. Very interesting. Because what did I add to that? I added, oh, format. So yeah, so now we've got color illustrations and the size, which, you know, for kids' books, that maybe makes a lot of sense because maybe you want like a giant book. First edition of this book. First edition of Shiloh season. That's going back. And if we look, we now have the facets that we changed to. We've got language, resource type doesn't matter on this one, but there might be something else. Let's try something else. Just for fun. Yeah, so that was my first time really playing around with this. I somewhat knew the capabilities. However, obviously there's a lot more that I think we could do with this, as far as, you know, creating search scopes for students that only want things in Spanish. Because if we go into search profiles, let's see if we can remove, add scope. This time, okay, oh shoot. Okay, yeah, fine, we'll add this. But, okay. We needed this one. Okay, so can we do Spanish only? Hey, save. Interesting, it's still giving us 3 in English. Oh, because it's both. Probably. Yes. And it did return an ebook. Yeah. So I guess if you had a large foreign language collection, you could choose it as a location, because I'm wondering if, actually, yeah. I wonder if they have a, wait, that's not the right spot. Feel like they have a foreign language. Nope, dang it.
Not to ask too simple of a question, but if we define it at this level, what is the difference than if we do an advanced search only for Spanish materials?
There shouldn't be any difference.
This is just a faster way to do it?
Yeah, so this is potentially so that if you wanted to, you know, have a Spanish version of your website, for instance, and just have Spanish language materials come back, and then users wouldn't have to use that facet.
Like you said before, we could create it, have a link that we could just send to little Johnny, and boom, he would have access to this other view that would just be just Spanish content.
Yep.
Cool. I'm with you. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you've got, a grumpy Gus instructor who's like, I want my students to only be able to see your reference books because I only want them to be looking at encyclopedias that are out of date and nothing on the internet. And they don't want your help with information literacy instruction. They don't want a library tour, but they, don't. You could theoretically cater to them and be like, here's your reference collection only search scope for your students. So we created this one. I just want to see if we did it based on metadata. I'm wondering if they have. So this would also add HSI documents. So let's see. So that might actually be the more logical use, is if you have a location that maybe staff, not even faculty, but support staff in the student center need to know what you have in equipment or in your ROTC collection. You could give them okay, I'm gonna what's a really ubiquitous Spanish word? What's the Spanish word for like student or something?
Estudiante.
Can you spell that, please?
Oh God. ESTUDIANTE. Estudiante.
That is
ANTE.
correct.
There you go. Thank you, Linda.
That is correct, Alex. No, I'm just kidding. That's all I can think of.
Okay. Shoot. Okay. Okay. So in addition to the ones that we found before, they were just in Spanish, we now have ones that are available as part of this Hispanic serving institution location, which I think is like a special collection area. So if I had searched like poems before, we probably would have gotten way more in the first search instead of Pero. But yeah, so you can see, I think, maybe the potential of this, and I'd love to kind of get an idea of something we could pitch to the larger group as like, hey, we created this scope. You can use it this way in this kind of profile. We walk them through how to do it for their own institution. But I'm not super sure like what would be universal enough, because my examples are kind of silly, but maybe you guys have some ideas.
I think the Spanish language content faucet would be very interesting to most people.
I wonder, so like it's bringing back some online stuff, but it's clearly not everything. I'm wondering if we can really So this is the local. So what if I now add a scope of
Mhm.
the central index? Can we because what's unfortunate is we have tons of access to things in the CDI that would be, like in Spanish. But how do we, can we do that? Linda, is there anything in your notes from the first day?
Can you repeat the question? Sorry, I was looking at a example of a library webpage from eLuna where the gal was like, here's the search profile, here's the scope, here's all of the scopes. Then they filtered all the way down to just library location, like all within the same search bar, which was weird. And I'm trying to remember what library it was, and I think it was UW Libraries, but so, I mean, you can get very specific. Like I'm thinking our nursing program is huge, right? The nursing kids aren't going to be searching for anything else. So even just a basic like search for cancer, specifically a scope of e-journals or something, I don't know. And then specifically this library. So I don't know if that was what you're asking, but that's what I was looking for. So sorry. What was the question again?
Well, yeah, so I'm trying to figure out, is there a way, and Laura's question in chat goes to this as well, can we, when you blend the scopes, we've got the local data one and we've got central index ones, is there a way to pull Spanish language from the central index? Or only from the catalog?
That is a very specific question. I am just kind of skimming my notes. My eLuna notes. I want to say my first guess would be it's somewhere in the scope with all the and or exclude. I think you have all of those commands, maybe.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's got to be in there because I can't think of any other place where that something so specific would be located.
Okay, so inventory would be available electronic.
Yeah.
And it exists. Yes, exists.
Mhm.
And then metadata language.
Spanish.
Okay, so we've got hopefully electronic journals in Spanish.
Could you maybe,
oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you want to go as far as filtering down to issue or journal type, or wait, no, sorry, backtrack. Material type? Oh
yeah,
no, that's
okay.
only physical, isn't it?
Well, that would be,
or full text of it. There we go.
Resource type, maybe?
Resource type might be it, yeah.
Equals
Article or
we've
journal.
got journals, but there's also articles.
So maybe articles and journals just to capture everything.
Okay, and but you can only do 3. But
maybe articles would make sense, right?
Okay, so let's throw this one. The problem is I don't know if there are any Spanish articles like in Big Ben's.
You could do something super generic like art in Spanish. There's got to be one article out there, right? Okay. Just add an E to the end of art. See if that works. No, wow. Trying to think
Maybe
of a
try-
very common word.
Maybe try hijo, H-I-J-O.
Oh, there you go.
So
Wow.
something, let's take
can't you
one
just
of
put
the
in, like, N?
criteria off.
Oh, yeah.
Just use like one letter, because that's how I've done the advanced one on our end.
Oh, yeah.
That way, regardless, it's gonna pull, I just, like I said, the letter A, it will pull up
Oh.
anything that starts with the letter A.
Oh,
And
whoa.
nope, wow, you got nothing.
We broke it. we filtered or we scoped
We-
it too far.
too
Is that the
much.
term?
Yeah, okay.
We've gone too far.
Yeah. Okay, so let's try. I don't want to clear conditions. Why can't you just delete one? That's very annoying.
Because Primo.
I think you have to go back to the profile and delete some. Scope is fine, but I think you have multiple scopes in the profile.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh,
Like,
we
you,
went
you
too,
might have
too
had the
far.
e-resource and physical together.
yes, got it. Yeah,
Ah.
yeah. Okay, so this one we could just say, hold on.
So go one step back. Is that what Naoko's saying?
So if
Yeah.
we did,
Go back to, oh, I think if you go back to the search profile. Oh.
Oh.
I thought I
so
saw.
if I'm thinking, so, okay,
Hmm.
so if we can't combine too many conditions in a scope, we can combine scopes.
Ah.
So if we do language is Spanish and let's say we need it's available electronically. We save this. Now we can add
Oh.
well,
Mm.
we won't get any results to test it, but I'll show you what I think I mean. We add this condition and we do resource type of article. Now, if we do this one, we can do code, add scope. And we've already got the e-journals in Spanish. And now we've got the articles. Let's see what happens if it like opens it up to all articles and the Spanish ones, you know, or if that's an or. So if that created an and, we should get nothing. If it created an or, we should get a bunch of articles. And okay, wait. It's a bunch of stuff that's available electronically and is Spanish. So where did that articles thing, like, where did resource type articles go to? If that's part of the scope. Because this is hey, catalogers, is there anything in here about I mean, like it says electronic book. However, this is pretty good.
Just gonna throw it out there because at this point, whatever, but does ranking matter? Like that, see how you have them in order? So is it reading Spanish journals? Oh, wait, no. I'm just trying to think if rank matters and at which level it matters.
Mm-hmm.
I think it also comes down to metadata issues. And that was one disclaimer that the gal kept saying. She was like, it all depends on your metadata. And I'm like, well, that sucks.
But can we remove the Spanish to see if articles
Show up.
resource type is
Yeah.
working?
It's a good idea.
Okay. All right, so we've got an articles only one. So this must be returning only articles that are, I have an idea. Let's
Maybe we need
change-
to choose central index somewhere.
Well, okay, hold on. So if we add central index and the Spanish, what happens? I'm pretty sure that's in German. And we're getting way more than just articles.
But I think we changed that Spanish content scope a few times, so I don't know if it's still set for Spanish
Let's see.
language.
Okay. I did this one. So language equals Spanish and the location equals Hispanic serving institution. So inclusive of both, not exclusionary. And then pretty sure that's the one I used. Yes. However, we can configure blending. And this is going to boost local records, which is going to boost the Spanish language stuff that's in the library. But I think it was just giving us literally everything from the central index because there's no way to like filter central index in a search profile. But it is 2:35. This has definitely been fun and answered some questions, and I'm very glad, Linda, that you had your notes from that first day. And I think now that we have kind of an idea that some kind of like Spanish language filter search page could be useful, if we do some personal testing in the next 2 weeks, then we can come back and see if we can't figure out how to create a Spanish language view. Because one of the other things you can do in view is like change languages and stuff. In this customization package, you can do a lot more. So because you could change labels to be in Spanish, change facets to be in Spanish, and you might need to simplify, but it'd be something. So maybe that's part of it, is like, yes, we have the view that is central index, but instead of returning only Spanish results, maybe we can get it to just be in Spanish and have the facets labeled in Spanish so that Spanish speaking users can more easily navigate the results list. So we can think on it, but I think this is a impactful and like fun first project, and it doesn't require coding. So I am all about it. Okay. Well, thanks so much. And I do have our notes here, so I'll like put a little thing and I'll write up kind of what we did today, and put the link to the recording. And yeah, see you all in 2 weeks.
Cool.
I'll
Could
probably
you email us the link to the notes too?
Oh yes, I can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
Okay.
I was going to say, I'm going to mention that Tuesday, Lindsay and I are actually meeting to do a lot of Primo customization, and this was at the top of our list. So when we fail, I will save all my failure notes. Classic Linda. I will fail. I will break something. Carly, you will be getting a
Well,
text.
I mean, if you
Just
just
kidding.
wanna invite me via Zoom, I'll just
Yeah.
like sit over your shoulder.
Honestly, we're just going to sit in our conference room and click on things. I'm going to hopefully have some eLuna notes that sort of help guide us. I was actually trying to look for Jenny from Ex Libris. She had some really good PowerPoint notes. And she said they would be available, and I'm not finding them anywhere. But if I do, I will totally share them with the group because she was very specific. Most of my notes are just the things that I knew I would forget and that were also not on her PowerPoint slides, because I was just so in the zone with what she was saying. But whatever I can share, I certainly will, only if I can find the information. And then
Well-
in a couple of weeks, I'll let you guys know how badly we failed or if we had some sort of success.
Yeah, so there is this like resources, inspiration here. I'm gonna section at the bottom.
Mhm.
So if you do find links to eLuna notes and stuff
Yeah.
that are helpful, you can, give it a little description and throw it in down here at the bottom too. So,
Okay. Yeah, I can certainly do that.
but I will send this out, this link out so that you guys can add to it. And yay, neat day. Okay, I'm gonna open that link. All right.
Cool.
Hopefully it's in here somewhere. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go because it's almost 3.
Yeah. Keep scrolling down and that's where the links are from the different presentations for the knowledge days, I think.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
Yeah.
we were Primo day 1.
I think
Oh.
I think the second session had some CDI stuff. I was just looking through my notes
This was,
too.
yeah, this
Mhm.
Jenny was, yeah, 1 and 2. So
Yeah.
I typed a bunch of stuff down. I'm like, I don't know what any of this means. I'll have to play around with it.
I left myself snarky comments and I was like, oh,